Hello, Instagram land. Okay. Hey. Right. Gonna invite you. Oh, what's up?
And answer the questions honestly. That's all.
Hello.
Hey, shut up, boy. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
What up, Mika?
How are you?
You know me, being as black as I can possibly be. What's going on with you?
I'm good.
Yeah, good to be joining you this evening.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Uh, Even though you probably picked the most boringest guest possible, but
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Well, this is my wonderful father-in-law, Brian Perry, and we're gonna talk tonight about the importance of friendships and just knowing yourself. So please tell us about who you are and what you do.
Oh, so I am a father of three, a husband of one. Um, just recently turned 53, and I have many things to many people, but most of all, my main job is being a great husband and a father to my sons. And that's what I get my joy out of life in being.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, yes. Thank you for joining us once again. And I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Do you have something to draw with or create with?
Absolutely not. You know, I came into this absolutely not prepared for anything other than to answer questions or just to talk, you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't have to draw. That's all right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, you have to name my piece when we finish.
Okay.
So, okay,
For that.
cool.
Hmm?
All right. So, okay, we're going to start. What is your favorite color?
Black.
Black. Okay. Has it always been black?
Always has been black. All
Huh.
things creative comes out of darkness. You can't have and know what light is unless you have know what darkness is first. So I always believe that all great things come out of blackness.
Okay, I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's me. That's my mom's favorite color too.
Is it?
Yeah, my favorite color is yellow, and it used to be blue.
And why is that?
I just think yellow. It just makes me feel good. The
Mm.
sunshine just makes me feel like warmth. Makes me want to smile.
Mm. So let's go into that for a second.
Okay.
'Cause I have questions. So when you close your eyes, what do you see? When you go to sleep at night, what do you see? Why do
Oh,
you make the room dark so that you can go to sleep at night? To bring about peace, right?
yeah. Huh.
If you think about it, yellow is a color of chaos.
Mm.
So it makes your mind race. It makes your mind think of things that are full of energy, right? So to
Yeah,
restore yourself, you have to come back to what? Darkness.
that's true.
So all great things come out of black. This is what I'm saying. So like when people tell me all these different colors, I'm just like, well, when you were in your mother's womb, right?
Hmm.
What's the first thing you did when you saw light? Start screaming.
Yeah. Huh.
So the peace and tranquility that you once had was broken by light. And so
Yeah.
think about it when you hate to get up and go to work in the morning. When that sun comes up, you're like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But the sun wakes you up every day. You see what I'm saying? Like so, like it's a dual. It's a strange thing that relationship that we have with darkness and light. Yet everything that you see in the world is perpetuated as bad, as black. But all good things come out of darkness.
Hmm. Okay. Family food.
including you and me and everybody else that looks like us. How about that?
That's very true. Might have to change my favorite color.
Don't do it for me.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
What? Chicken. Everybody in the world knows that. I'm a country kid. That's what we grew up on. 9 times out of 10, if there was a meal being served, it was there somewhere. So it continues to be one of my favorite foods. What's one of Robert's favorite food? What's your favorite food?
I thought you were gonna say like boiled peanuts,
Oh,
like something.
no, that's
I'm just
that's our
playing.
favorite snack. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like chicken or something too. I like I like tacos and like Thai food and stuff. We eat that a lot.
Nah, it's cool. But one, I'm not Mexican. Two, I'm not from Thailand. I'm from Tarboro, North Carolina. So what we got was either pork or chicken. I don't even think I had a steak till I was probably about 10 years old. That wasn't on the menu. So yeah. So we're gonna roll with chicken for now.
Okay. Okay, fill in this blank. Thank God for blank.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything I have, everything I've ever done, everything I will ever do, God has to be in the forefront, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around that. It's the first thing I do when I wake up, the last thing I do before I go to bed, all throughout the day for small victories, not the big ones, but everything that I get and I accomplish in my life, whether it's just, whew, man, somebody almost hit my car. I escaped that moment. I give God the praise. God is in everything. God is in your hand right now creating that picture. So you
Yeah.
have to give God the praise for all things.
I agree. I thank God for life, period. Yeah. Just being here.
When you think about life, right?
Hmm.
And I say this often to everyone, life isn't hard. We make life hard with our decisions, good or bad, because the decision you make today that you think might be good may affect you in about 3 years and you not even know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you start to think about it, simply life is to be lived one moment at a time. We start putting all these other precepts on it and start expanding it in ways that we really shouldn't be touching on yet. We should be in this moment enjoying whatever's going on right now and not thinking about 16 things that may happen. But this one
Hmm.
thing is happening, we can't even appreciate it because we're thinking about 16 other things that might happen. So I learned
Right.
a long time ago how to stay in this moment and only be focused on what's going on now and not worry so much about what I can't control in the future.
So, okay, well, what brought that about? Like, have you always thought that way?
Absolutely not. What young child has that kind of mindset? Um, but when you have a child and a family, yeah, you will learn real quick to not worry about things that you can't control. But that's also due to the fact that my wife played a big role in that too. You know what I mean? She kept me centered a lot as I started to grow older and started to realize like things that are meant for me will happen for me when it's time for it to happen for me.
Hmm.
And so, but yeah, having children in situations in your life that causes you to grow up will make you start to see things a lot differently.
So, how do you think a person can develop a strong sense of self with all this other stuff going on around, like with people just in your ear or whatever? How do you know what's you and what's not?
All foundations of self starts at home. Um, I don't know about a lot of people, but I grew up with a single mother. So it took me a little longer to understand who I was. So I can tell you my sons won't feel that way because they understand how I push them to be themselves, whatever that is. Now,
Mm-hmm.
don't think that I'm not like any other parent. I had these preconceived ideas about what I thought my children should be or how they should be.
Right.
But God quickly showed me that He had a whole different plan and changed everything. And it made me have to realize that. You know what I mean? Like, we can do all that we say we feel our children should be. Like, we'll do all the things that they need, give them all the things they need and all the opportunities in life, but still they can go in a whole different direction. So just building a strong foundation of understanding that your decisions that you make in life, as I would always tell them, is that the decisions you make will be the path you take. So I would always push them to be very independent, but also realize that their choices mean a lot even at a young age. And that's what you see in them today. All of them are very different, as you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they all have a little bit of me in them, but they're all very different, you know. And I love and respect them for that. You know what I mean? Even you know, I'm always feeling like I'm the authoritarian and I'm always going to be right and all this stuff. But a lot of times, like, they teach me things a lot as well, and that's still part of my growth pattern. You know what I mean? I love learning. You can learn something from anyone at any time, and you have to be open to that, though. You know, and that's a big part of finding out who you are. Are you willing to accept constructive criticism as well as positive? You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure they hated hearing a lot of things I told them when they were young, and then it all comes to fruition, and they'd be like, "Well, shit, Dad knows something." You know what I mean?
Right.
But help shape who they are today. You know, they formulate their own path after they see that, like, okay, well, the things that Dad are telling me were true. You know, and for good or bad, that's
Mm-hmm.
who they are today, and it really is a big part of who they became. You know, so I don't know if there's one clear way of developing that, though. You know, so instead of letting
Mm-hmm.
them play PlayStation, I would make them read or write about their day. You know what I mean? There's different things I try, but you know how you
Huh.
folks are.
Well,
What we say, you're still gonna be like, I'm going this way. I'm like, well, you go over there. You know that road is a little rough. You might want to stay on this road, this road
yeah.
over here. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens. You know, you just
Right.
have to you have to know that no matter what your plan is, God has a greater plan for them, and you have to be at peace with that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, there's been many times that I've thought, yeah, this is it. This is gonna change my life. I'm going this way. And then you do it and it's like, nah, that was not it at all. And then you just go back to doing what God told you to do in the first place.
Yeah, and you definitely, most definitely cannot stay in the valley too long. So my point has always been, and you can ask DJ this, like, when he's going through something, he'll call and talk to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be like, so what are you going to do? What you going to do about it? And he'll say, I'm going to figure it out, because I always wanted my sons to be thinking men. Before
Mm-hmm.
anything else, before you bring your troubles to my table, think about it,
Yeah,
because you know what my response is going to be. And it's always the same thing. You have to take time and think about it and figure it out for yourself. Because me telling you how to fix it is my way of doing it. And at the end of the day, you have to live with whatever my decision is. But if you make the decision yourself, it's a little easier for you to digest that and move forward with it. And so, as much as I love helping them and trying to make sure that they're always comfortable in life, it's not the way to go for me. And it's not the way to go for them. As men, and to be future leaders of their households, they have to know how to make some decisions, some tough decisions, and move forward with it and live with it and grow from it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And if they're lucky, like he is, to have someone by his side to kind of help him through those moments, it makes it even better. But at the end of the day, the decisions you make will be the path you take, but you have to be able to live with it, good or bad, and grow from it. Definitely grow from it.
definitely.
So when you made those decisions, you thought they were the best decisions for you at that time, and you went forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you, when I was young, really young, I'm still young, but when I was really young, college kid, running and ripping, everything I did, I thought was the right decision. You know what I mean? And then when it turned out bad, you'd be like, well, what did I do wrong? It's not that I did anything wrong. I was
Right.
for the moment. You know what I mean? Really
Mm-hmm.
just for the moment. And not thinking things through. So as you get older, you get wiser and you start to understand that if you think about it a little bit more before you do it, it might turn out a little better. So
Right. Yeah, and then when you get older too, like you just start realizing the people that you're hanging out with are not necessarily, maybe they're not the best people to hang out with, or
but
just
I've had the same friends for 30 years. My best friends, I have four best friends and they've been the same, well, five. Five
Mhm.
of us have been together for well over 30 years.
That's
You
good.
know,
That's a
I mean, that's unheard of, really, because people move away, people have lives, and they kind of grow apart. But
yeah.
do we talk every single day? No. But
Mhm.
we understand who we are. When we pick up the phone, it's like we haven't missed a beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you grow apart. So with friends, if they're truly your friends, even if you go in different directions, you never ever really grow apart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you understand who you are, and they understand who you are. You know what I mean, or vice versa. So you never really grow apart.
Yeah.
You just
I
have other.
have yeah. I
You know.
have one friend like that.
Hmm.
Well, I have a couple. I guess I just never really allowed my girlfriends to be my friends. Like I have one really close friend that I've known since middle school, and we're neighbors. And then I have another best friend that I've been close with since like ninth grade. So I'm 30 now. But all of my close friends are guys. Why do you think it's easier for dudes to maintain relationships and not girls?
That's I can't speak on that because I'm not a woman. I'm sorry.
I was like, what? So, okay, well,
I
what
mean, for
makes
guys, like
yeah,
we're we're just different creatures. You know what I mean? We're just different creatures. We understand each other, and don't think that like there's not little things that go on in guy relationships too. You know what I mean? But like when you're talking about people that have known each other since elementary school, and we've seen each other's kids grow up, we've been through a lot of things. Like one of the things we don't have is jealousy or envy for each other with each other, and anything that we say, we can say it and it's dead after we finish with the conversation. We're not going to come back 6 months later and be like, man, you said that hurt my feelings. Well, you should have told me when I said it. You know what I mean? And we move on past that. And we tell each other to this day, man, before we get off the phone, we make sure we let each other know that we love one another.
right.
And we don't use that term friend very easy. And we don't even call each other friends at this point. We're brothers.
Hmm.
So like we don't even, even though I call them my best friends, these are really my brothers. They're closer to me than my own brother. You know what I mean? My brother is older, so we have a good friendship, a great friendship, and we have a great brotherhood. But these guys have been there through everything. I can't say that for my brother because he had his own life doing his own thing. But you know, we're really tight. Really, really tight. I can pick up the phone right now and be like, "What you doing?" Nothing. Oh man, I need you to come scoop me up. Even if I didn't need him, they'd be like, "I'm on my way." You know what I mean? But we don't take using that term friend very lightly. And I'm surely not calling you my brother if it's not real. So, but we've developed that over years and years of being in one another's lives. We can walk in each other's home and talk to each other's mothers like they're our mom. We actually call each other mom. And I have actually, you know what? I actually have two sets of best friends. There's my college friends that I
Hmm.
bonded with really tightly, and then there's the ones I mean, and some of them I grew up with, and all of them I went to high school with. All of them I went to junior high school with. So I've been knowing them all for a very long time. But like our bonds got stronger when we went to college together. And then there's my friends that I've known forever. You know what I mean? That started in elementary and junior high school as well. So, but I'm
Yeah.
blessed in that way. Everybody can't have friends for that long period of time, or a lot of people are losing friends. So I'm blessed in that way.
Yeah. It's really good to have friends because
Mm.
I know my friends have kept me afloat many days.
Hmm. How
Yeah.
how do they keep you afloat?
Just being able to call them and laugh or just go somewhere or talk with them about something different, just
Hmm.
having be able to just help me refocus. Even if they can't be with me, like just maybe send me a text or something they sent me like that. It always helps. So I don't take
Yeah.
my friendships for granted. Like, I mean, I'm glad that I'm at the point now where I feel like I'm my own best friend.
Right.
So, but it wasn't always like that. So for many days they've definitely been people that I can rely on. So it's really helpful.
But so like I have this saying, and all my friends, we say, like, friendship doesn't take any work. So if you're my true friend, like whether we speak today or we speak 20 years from now, we should be able to pick
Hmm.
up. And don't get me wrong, I have several female friends, as you well know, like they're like my
Yeah.
sisters, and they come and go. My wife freely accepts them in our home, and she embraces them the same way. So like it's not only males, but there's female friends that I've had for 20 or 30 years, well, 30 years plus. And and that's a blessing as well, because I get a different, well, not now that I've been married for a while, but like when I was younger and dating, I would always call them and be like, man, this chick, blah, blah. They'd be like, well, Brian, what'd you expect? You are blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And it brings you back to reality sometimes. So you need that balance, I think, um, with male and female. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but it's good to have someone that you can talk to at all times. You know what I mean? And literally, I talk to at least one of my friends every single day. I mean, like every single day, and not always the same ones. There's some that I talk to almost every day, and then there's others I might talk to here and there. But we always check on each other. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that's I mean, in life, when you start to lay it all out, money is cool, but it can come and go. Family is great, but they're hot and cold. But when you have a true friend, I mean, like an absolutely positively true friend, that is priceless, because for a fact that they're always going to be there in your corner, and always has your, I mean, well, you met Gina, you know how Gina is, and and so like, she could just walk in the door. As a matter of fact, she's the only female outside of my wife that has a key to our front door. You know what I mean? So she comes and goes, and my wife loves her, absolutely loves her. You know what I mean? And that's hard. I mean, I'm sure it's hard for women, but she's been my friend since she was 12 years old. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell her age now, but she was 12 years old. You know what I mean? And that's something to be said. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that I have those kind of people in my life.
Yeah, that's really cool because you're like one of the first adults that I ever really seen that had like a whole bunch of friends.
Uh huh. Well, I'm a very
Like,
popular guy, as you well know.
yeah.
Been around for a while. Hold on, someone's knocking at the door.
Okay.
So what? What are you doing here, Shelby?
Who this from the household? Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's Aunt Michelle.
I'm over to the main
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to move down to my desk.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, so you know
What
how
was
it
the
is.
toughest time your friends got you through?
Uh,
Like,
I
really
don't know
good
if I.
times. I mean, you don't have to share in detail. Like, it's fine.
no, I haven't really had tough moments. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds crazy,
Okay.
but I've been blessed not to have such crazy moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I ever needed, like, if I was just feeling some kind of way about something or a decision in life I need to, Duke, Duke, can you talk softly?
Yeah, after the party.
So, so yeah, so no, but like if there's there's a decision, a life decision that I really needed to talk about. I'm always calling my best friend Roger. Um, his friendship is, I can't even, like, it's hard to even put in words. Like, that's my main ace. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what's going on, like, so even in when he's going through those moments, I know I'm the first person you're gonna pick up the phone and call, and vice versa. Even though he always gives me the worst advice, I'm still gonna call him because that's my ace. You know, and even so, you know, he just, I don't know if you guys knew this, so I'm sure I told DJ that he just had his last daughter
Oh.
at 51 years old. And he called me and he was like, yeah, man, you know, Rob is pregnant. And I laughed at him for about 30 minutes. I didn't say anything. I just laughed. And then he just said, I don't even know why the fuck I called you because I knew it was coming. And, you know, and that's the kind of friendship we have. But he knew, like, I wasn't laughing at him because what happened. I laughed at him because I know who he is. And, like, I knew he was just like, what am I going to do with a baby? You know what I mean? Like, and so his daughter just had a baby. So
Wow.
this is the first grandchild that the auntie is older than. All the rest of the grandchildren are older than the auntie. You know what I mean? So, and we've shared every moment together. You know, all of our children, everything. So it's like, it's amazing but funny at the same time that I have a niece that's 2 and his oldest daughter is 32. You know what I mean? So like, it's just these are the kind of things that you have to have someone to share these moments with. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love the fact that I have great friends. I mean, he's not the only one, but that's my number one ace in the whole kind of dude. That's my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's
of
really
course, Nina is the female version of that. So
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
yeah, so yeah,
To call her about anything.
you ain't lying. Anyway,
Um,
but what I do want to say about friendship and everybody that's watching, man, like I'm telling you,
mhm.
each and every day that you talk to your friends and your family, let them know how much you care about them because
Mhm.
I'm telling you, man, this world is changing so fast. I've lost so many friends in the last couple months. It's crazy. And just hearing other people losing family members, it's just, I mean, it's serious. It's serious. And it's good for, they have to know how you feel about them. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to tell them, just, you know, just hug them and say, man, you're my peoples. I love you. And that's it. You know, if nothing else, it's serious. I'm talking about it's very serious that you, it's so important that you let people know.
Yeah, definitely got to tell them what they mean to you. If you got issues with your friends, family, just like I mean,
Now,
even if like not saying like y'all married or nothing, like don't go to sleep mad or nothing, but for real, like don't leave that person just you know
yeah,
being angry because it's not worth it.
it is. It's not. It's not. It really isn't. I mean, it's not even senseless violence like it used to be, man. There's people dying from COVID and all kinds of stuff. I mean, like, it's man, it's crazy. I mean, you know, I mean, like, I'm telling you, it is so important that you let people know. I mean, the world is crazy enough, man, that you know, things go on around different circumstances that go on around us. But when it's coming and when it's hitting closer and closer to home, you got to know that this is a moment that you have to let people know, man, that you appreciate them and love them, man. You know, so.
Yeah, because stuff is
Yeah,
really
you hear?
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, I apologize for that, but
That's okay. I'm gonna ask you a few more questions. Again, thank you for this, and I'm gonna let you go.
no problem.
Okay, so do you believe you have a solid support system? Like you support so many people, like, and you're there for so many people. So who, like, do you think people are there for you too?
Those that can be, because they're,
Mhm.
you know, like, and, you know, I support a lot of people. But someone told me, I was talking to this this gentleman, one of the most amazing people I've ever met, and he's he's here still helping people, and he walked with Martin Luther King, and then to this day he's still 70 years old out here trying to help people improve their lives in every single way. I think it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked him one day, I said, how does it feel to be able to help change people's lives? And he never thought about it. He looked at me and he just said, this is what God ordained me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was the most amazing, profound response, because this man is so selfless that even when people wanted to kind of celebrate him, he kind of wanted to avoid it. They had to trick him into showing up at a celebration just for him. You know what I mean? It's the kind of person I strive to be always. You do it because it's the right thing to do, and that you love to do it, and you know it's going to be beneficial to someone else. You don't do it because you expect something in return.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you set the parameters of whatever's going to be, people can't say it's something else, if that makes sense. I'm straight,
So,
so I just I say whatever. It's up to you to read it how you want to, but at the end of the day, you have to set up parameters about how things are going to be. And once you do that, you can't be mad if it goes outside the boundaries, and you can say, hey, this isn't good for me. But if it's something that you've already set up, then you know what I mean. Like, you just if that makes I guess I'm trying to say
yeah,
this.
it makes sense. Like, you have to, whatever you want out of a relationship, well, you gotta say what you expect, and if you don't,
Yeah,
you can't be mad if it
can't be
goes wrong. What if you don't? How do
yeah.
you get out of that? How do you get out of that fucked up situation? If you, how do you
You
get out
just
of that?
you just said it, man. This is fucked up. I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
And then can somebody be mad at you? Like, this shit ain't working for me, man. I aspire to
Mm-hmm.
be more. I aspire to do more. I mean, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and then be at peace with that, though. That goes back to the choice you make is the path you take. Once you do it and set it out into the world, into the atmosphere, be good with it, but stay true to it if that's what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life is not hard. We make it hard, right? It ain't
Yeah.
a joker that walks through my door. They don't understand who I am, and if you get out of line, what's gonna happen?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I make that known. I make it
Yeah.
known. I love and appreciate you, but you can't walk over me, and you can't disrespect my family and my home. This is where I come for peace. You ain't gonna bring your chaos in here. So leave it at the door. Enjoy yourself. Go home. If they can't do that, well, I'm gonna make sure you leave. I don't care if you're my
Right.
mother, brother, or cousin. We ain't doing that here. You know what I mean? And you know
Yeah.
that. So I mean, like, as long as people know who they're dealing with and what they're about, what you're about, they can't be mad. And if they do get mad, well, why are you here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why are you here? You know what I'm about. You know, I'm a big proponent of leave your feelings at the door. And if we got some issues that we need to work through, let's work through them. Let's get to what the problem is so we can fix it, so we can be on better terms. But if you ain't with that, you want to be crying and talk about what I did and what I said, man, take that on somewhere else. I'm a grown man, been grown for a long time, and when people, when humans learn how to take emotion out of the situation, they will prosper so much more in life, so much more. Not just financially, not just with your job, with your day-to-day life. The
Right.
peace you will have,
I totally
unbelievable,
agree
unbelievable.
because I agree. Like, I'm always talking to your son about, or he's always talking to me, and now I'm finally starting to listen. I'm just like, I'm tired of doing stupid shit. Like, I'm tired of doing stupid things because of a certain way that I feel at a moment, or whatever. It's not worth it.
You got you got to think about this. The words you speak can change the world, or you can set the world on fire. Right?
Mhm.
I learned that lesson a long time ago, coaching these kids. Right? I never said anything derogatory to them, But the kid focused on one word. I was like, hey, man, you're acting like a punk kid, and that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
The word he heard was punk. Started a big melee. His mama came on the court. And, you know, it was a bunch of foolishness going on. My sister-in-law was about to whoop everybody in the gym, and I'm like, what is going on? But it taught me a lesson. You say what you mean, and you mean what you say. Now, if I would have just been like, look, man, get your stuff and get off my bench and gone over there with your mother. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
nice. Oh, man, look, you're not like that. You're not that. No, you are. That's what you are. Well, you showing me you are right now, and I can't deal with that. Gone over there with your mama. But he tripped out, and it started a big brawl in the gym. You see what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy. I'm sitting on the bench like, what's going on? What just happened here? And they are about to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that showed me that your words, the things that you say, like I said, can change the world or it can set
Yeah.
the world on fire. So you got to be mindful of that because words are powerful. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that my sons hold on to that I said to them when they were young. But now as they're older, they understand why I said the things that I said. You know what I mean? So you don't change, you can't change what you once were. You can only keep moving forward in life with who you're trying to become, you know? So always remember that. I don't know who that person was back then. A lot of times when my friends tell me about stuff I did, I'd be like, was I there? They be like, yeah, man, we don't remember. No, was I there? I don't remember. So, you know,
Yeah.
it changed what you were. You know what I mean? The ink is dry. The page has been turned. All you can do is focus on who you are today and who you're going to be tomorrow if you're so lucky to make it to the next day. So,
Yeah. Gotta stay focused on that, which
mm.
you are.
So let's go back to stupid stuff. So what kind of stupid things have you been doing that I haven't been privy? I need to know.
Not anything that you don't know about. Just the past
Oh,
that I hadn't let go of.
yeah.
But
When you're young, you do stuff.
yeah, just like job choices and things of that nature. Those are things that are funneling out of my life right now.
Okay. Well,
So
let me give you a piece of advice about a job. All right. When I was younger, and our family was younger, I felt like I had to have. I never had a bad job. Don't get me wrong. I've always had very good jobs. Traveled, did a lot of stuff. Um, but a job is a job, right? Um, until you find something that you're really passionate about and do it, life sucks.
mhm,
Sucks. And now that my children are all grown and I have the opportunity to pursue the kind of things that I like to do and the kind of job that I wanted, life is
mhm,
great. But I wish for you all to find it while you're young and be able to do it and not after your family has grown and moved out of the home and it's just, you're
right,
older. If you can do it young while you're younger, whew, so don't just just accept a job just because you think you need to pay the bills. I mean, you do need to pay the bills, but at the end of the day, if you're miserable
mhm,
at work every day, life.
right,
So like now I enjoy going to work. The 1 or 2 days I have to go into the office, great. Have a great time. You know what I mean? But I work from home. I make great money. Life is good. I can do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. And I wish that for you guys while you're young, not when you're my age. So you and Robert are young, man. Live, live, live.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
but a job,
yeah.
turn down more jobs than probably most people get an opportunity to get every year. And that,
See, and that's what I've been. See, that's another reason
look,
why I.
where's the wood at? Let me thank God. But I never thought
Yeah,
to that place. I'd be like, nah, thanks.
right. You got options now.
Yeah, but look how long it took for me to get those options. I want you guys to have those options while you're 30, not when you're my age. 20 years later. You know what I mean? Well, I had it a couple years ago, but but still, it's better for you to have that while you're young.
Right. I just feel like I'm starting to look at myself differently, and this is another thing I can thank my friends for, but really myself as well. Like, I'm just looking at myself differently. Like, I don't want to just accept bullshit just because I think like, oh, I gotta do this or whatever. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to just accept that. Like, I'm capable of so much more. Like, so I don't give myself enough credit to do what I really can do. So I just look for bullshit.
No,
That's what I've been doing. That's what I have been doing. So, yeah.
only you can change that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only you can change that, and your perception of who you are and your worth changes that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely.
So you
Okay.
have to make sure that you understand who you are and where you're at right now in this moment, in order for you
Mm-hmm.
to do the thing that you're talking about. And it's easy. You just when you get tired, you'll be like, oh, fuck this. I'm over this. I mean,
Right.
as you well know, like all my life, I thought I wanted to be a COO of a company. So all I did was work to being a COO. And right when I got to the place to be the COO, I was like, fuck,
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing out at home with my children. I'm working all the time. And I was like, went in a whole different direction and never looked back. And it was the best thing I could ever done. But it wasn't me. Prayed on
Yeah.
1,000 times, talked to my wife, and she was like, I got you. It wasn't easy at first, but when I did establish myself within the field, everything changed. But it took a
Right.
moment to do that. So, like I said, I wish for you guys to do that while you're young. Take those chances and find out who you want to be and where you want to be now. Don't wait
Mm-hmm.
another 10 years because time will fly. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. You don't want to be sitting around. Cause right, like last year, I'm just sitting around now, and I'm like, damn, I'm about to be 31. Like I was just like, that's that went by so fast. Like so, don't I know exactly what I want to do. I just don't want to spend any more time like doubting myself. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing. Just doing it.
Age has never been a big thing for me until I turned 50. I was like, 50? What the? You have to realize that you've been living for a half 100 years. You're blessed to be able to do it because you were not supposed to be here. In a lot of situations I was in, I knew I wasn't supposed to be here. But like then you start looking at your life like, what am I gonna do with the next 50 if I'm so blessed?
Right.
And you're like, what is my legacy gonna be? So now I'm looking at guys like, what am I gonna do? So my job now is to help you guys establish yourselves to be the best that you can be at whatever you want to be. So
Mm.
that's just me. That's just an old head talking. You know,
Well, we appreciate you. You're not old.
forgive my disheveled laying around the house look. I was like, oh man, I forgot I was supposed
Oh, you're fine. Like you're fine.
to. Yeah.
So, okay, what is one thing you would like everyone to understand more about Black men? I'm gonna ask you two more questions, and then you can name my piece.
Well, that's a loaded question
Well,
because
just one thing. If you could choose one thing.
You was asleep.
I,
You ain't that old. You be asleep at 8:45.
that question can mean so many different things for every different Black male, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm. You though. What would you want everybody?
so for me, so for me, I want women to understand that we're in this together. Period.
Mm,
from from the inception of time, we've been in this together, and we have to understand that
mm,
like as you go, I go. As you tick, I talk. It's really you have to understand that, and I mean like on a spiritual level as well as a physical level and all those other things that come along with it. We're in this together. You don't have to fight me down so we both supposed to elevate together. I'm so thankful and blessed for the relationship that I have with my wife because that's one thing that we do understand. No matter what
mm.
whatever's happening, whatever it is, I'm gonna be there and she's gonna be there. We're in this together. And I got lucky, I ain't gonna lie. So because I don't deserve to have such a great woman by my side like I do, and I know that. So I make sure she understands that, and I appreciate her every single day. So, but as black males, man, like we have a hard time expressing ourselves. And when you find someone that's opening up to you, ladies, don't beat them in the head.
Right.
Don't beat them in the head because, bruh, it's hard to get a man to understand what a woman is going through, one, but it's hard to get a man that's going to stick by you when you're going through those things. So just know that. I'm sure y'all see that out there now. So, it's a lot of foolishness.
Yeah.
Hearing my sons talk to me about stuff, I'm like, what? That would have never been going on when I was young. So just know you're
Yeah.
together. If you so choose to be with someone, you're in it together. It ain't no running away from it. It ain't no this and that and all that foolishness, man. Just know, man, drown out the world and focus on each other so y'all can both grow. So,
Love that. Yeah.
mm.
That's something else that Rob tells me all the time. We're on the same team, like all the time.
Yeah, but what
And
does that mean to you, though? Do you hear that? Do you receive that?
now I do.
So, what did it take for you to receive that?
Um, me fucking myself up enough times to be like, I don't want to fuck myself up anymore. I don't want life to be
But is that
difficult anymore.
But is that you receiving what he's saying, or is that just you pretty much understanding that, like, I can't keep going down this path of destruction? Because sometimes it's like me with drinking. One day I woke up, well, I stopped drinking because, when I went through COVID and I got the blood clots. But also after a while, I was just like, I don't really need this. But it was a social thing for me. So you
Right.
sometimes start to X out things in your life that really aren't necessary. You got to ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? What value does it bring to my life? You know what I mean? And so when you start to look at that, friends as well, family as well, like,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't for me. I'm going to go ahead and walk away from this. It's hard because we like doing the easy thing. Whatever feels, we always resort back to what feels natural, even though we know it's not good for us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes doing the hard thing is the best thing. And doing that, you know what I mean? Like, believe me, my sons used to always ask me, like, why is it so easy to do the wrong thing? Because it's easy.
Yeah.
So you know what's wrong, you're going to do it anyway. How many times have you done that? You're like, man, fuck it, and just jump out there and do it anyway. Knowing it's poorly, but
Right.
that's how I feel about drinking. Like, I'll take shots with people for their birthdays. After that, I let it ride. You spend so much money on that foolishness because I got to drink the best. So then, you're spending money, you wake up with a hangover, you overdo it, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, not all the times. But, like, you just got to think about in life what's really valuable, what really matters. And so then you just start to, that was cool, but no more. That was cool, but no more. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I mean, to answer your question, I think it's most for me, like one, kind of having the same conversation, and two, I understand now what he's saying and where he's coming from, and yeah, you're right. Like I don't want to keep going in circles, so it's just like this is a value. Like I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, he is definitely my child, so I know he talks your head off.
Yeah.
I know he does that. You would know, like, it amazes me sometimes. Like, I mean, I love hearing him speak. It makes me proud to see the man that he's become. But at the same time, be like, shut the fuck up. Do I talk to my? I swear to God, now this is the truth. My boys be like, he is just like you, and I'm like, I know, and this is why he likes the same foods. He talks the same way. He does. I'm like, can I have something to myself?
No.
And I love my son so much, but that I'm telling you, like, sometimes I'd be like, boy, I gotta go. Not even
No, I appreciate him though. I appreciate that I have someone who will tell me the truth and
Yeah.
not just let me be walking out here just thinking whatever. Like, so I appreciate it.
But would you want it any other way? Would you want to be in a relationship with someone that can't be completely honest with you?
No. Uh-uh.
Ah, man, that's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Living a lot. Like, I love the fact that my wife be like, "Oh, you fucking up," or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen too often. Just perfect. But but yeah, you want someone who can be totally honest with you. If it's not, man, you need to call them on that. Be like, "Fuck out of here, man! Like, what are you here for?" You know what I mean? We
Right.
put each other in check, man. And it's great because it's like it's the freedom of being who you really are, and you can just
Right.
whatever's on your mind, even if it's crazy or not. Like, well, y'all all know I'm gonna say whatever, but the truth is in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
When you try to spare someone feelings, you're not doing them any. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how I talk to people sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, but when you're sparing people, my job in life is, and I
Uh-huh.
think before you talk to me, before you say something to me,
Yeah.
say to me. You know what I mean? Like, don't you come to me with no, because you're going to get nothing but the truth from me. But don't come to me with any foolishness. I don't care about, like I said all the time, I don't care about your feelings. That's for you to care about, right? If we're having a dialogue, it's for us to be honest with one another, honest enough that we don't even care if it hurts a little bit, because sometimes
Hmm.
you grow from that pain, right? Like, I'd be like, that was fucked up, I should have never did that. And somebody calls you and tells you that shit, you're like, okay, I can live with that. You know what I mean? And you don't go back to that moment. That's called growth. But if you be like, yeah, B man, you fucked up, but don't give me no buts, because then I'll be like, well, that wasn't so bad. I don't know why, she mad or whatever. I just was just hanging out. I mean, like, it's just not cool. And I think so many times in life, man, like we try to save each other's feelings instead of helping us elevate to another level by just being truthful. And that's the key.
I guess I mean a lot of us don't really know how to tell each other the truth, talk to each other, and such.
I think
But
mama the truth. And you know what I mean? Like, and I love my mom. I was like, you know what? I'm grown as a motherfucker. I'm about to leave. And you sit over here and keep that old foolishness with you, and
yeah.
don't think twice when I walk out the door, because I know who I am and what I do for me and my family and my friends. I'm always authentic. I'm always the same. You're never going to find me being any other way than how you find me every single day. And so,
Hmm.
like, they can't respect that. That's on them. I respect the fact that my sons are not kids anymore. Now, there's certain things I will tolerate and I won't tolerate, but guess what? Outside of that door is their life. Inside of that door is mine. So you can't come here with that shit. But you outside the door, you can stand on the curb and say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do, and I'll respect that.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
in my home, you're still the child. I respect you as a man, but you're still the child. You know what I mean? But I let them be who they are. I mean, it's just you have to be honest. I don't care what anything. And it took me a long time to understand that you have to be honest with yourself, where you at, and who you are right now, and whomever you're dealing with. You got to be honest with them too in your everyday life, right?
Yeah.
But think before you open your mouth and speak to me. Don't come to me with no foolishness, because I'm just going to give you the simple logic, and then you're going to go, I never thought of it like that. I said, yeah, because sometimes we like to create our own little world up here, right?
Hmm.
Scenario,
Hmm.
even real, up here,
Yeah.
so that we can be okay with who we are and what we're doing. And that ain't helping one way or another. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So life isn't hard. We make it hard by doing the things that we know is wrong, or saying it
Mhm.
that we know aren't true. Or, you know what I mean? And this is how we get ourselves caught up in this bullshit. all the time.
Yeah.
Slim, if you go rob that store, you're going to go to jail. Oh, man, I need some money. Well, let me give you some money so you don't go to you know what I mean? Like, you're still going to go to jail. Let me help you out, Slim. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just being honest with somebody, you be like, go ahead and do it. Man, let me see you do it. Thinking it's a joke. And then when they do it and go to jail, you be like, oh, shit, man, I should have never told him that. Right. You should have never told him that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I know that's extreme, but like, I'm just,
No,
you. But then,
I'm laughing because of how relevant it is to my life right now that you said something about robbing something, but not me personally, but yeah, that's funny.
but what if you're robbing the bank of morality, right?
Uh-huh.
Robbing the bank of morality. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you gone to the well just taking a chance on some foolishness?
Oh,
Lose
dang. I didn't even.
lose a little part of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Losing a little
Oh,
part of yourself just for a moment. And then you come back to it and regret it.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, that's the metaphor I mean by robbing the bank. You're robbing the bank of morality in yourself. You just gotta,
mm.
life ain't hard. We just make that shit hard all the time by doing silly things. Silly things
So,
don't even matter. You arguing about why did you do this and do that? Because what are you gonna change anything by being mad? Are you fussing and all that, yelling and screaming, letting someone make you step outside yourself, being something that you know you're not and never wanted to be? How is that possible? Think about it. Think about how many moments in life and joy, or that little yellow that you love so much, sunshine, and could be on your face while you walking down the street talking to God. So I remember this lady at my job one time. She stopped me and she said, "Brian, what were you looking at when you were looking up at the sky?" I said, "How blue the sky was and how great God is to be able to create something with such a beautiful color to it." And she was like, "I never thought about that." I said, "Well, maybe you should." You know what I mean? And after that day, I would catch her looking up at the sky. I do it all the time, like the smallest of things. Everywhere I've traveled, everywhere I've gone, I've always taken pictures. I never know if I'll come there again. Architecture, plants. One of the most beautiful places we went last year, I think it was, or the year before, was Wyoming. Now, I have no I had no desire to go to Wyoming. And when I went there, it's some of the freshest air I've ever had in my lungs, ever. Ever. And I've been all across this country, Canada, Mexico, everywhere. I couldn't believe how fresh the air was. I mean, like breathing in an oxygen machine, I swear to you, they have no pollution. None.
wow.
The water is so blue in a creek because they have no pollution. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would not even imagine something that in the United States because every day we wake up, we hear horns blowing and sirens going off and people mad, and you pass by every car, there's somebody smoking. It's like the world is so different outside of here that we don't even understand that there's so much more to know, so much more to learn. But I take these pictures and people are like, what are you looking at? The same God that created this created that. And I got a chance to see it. So I didn't want to waste a moment of not documenting that. Like, I really believe like God is in everything.
Mm,
Everything. This a simple ink pen. God was in the mind of the individual that created this. God was in the mind of the person that created what was in it, and even the ink itself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
we don't even think about that because we just take it for granted. We just pick it up and write with it. But think about all that went into making it. Like, this is you in that picture right there. I mean, God was guiding your hand to create that. But this is just something you do. Me talking. I just talk a lot, as you well know. But that's what I do. My job is to make you think before you talk to me. Think about how blessed you are every single moment that you have a breath in your lungs. There's somebody right now battling cancer. There's somebody right now on their deathbed because of diabetes. Somebody right now, and you're here on your podcast drawing a picture because God bless you with good health, a good mind, and good spirit to be able to do this. Life is great. We just make it difficult. The little is what it's all about. You know what I mean? Oh, but let me stop now because I talk all night. So,
No, it's true. I'm gonna say I'm about to cry. Like, no, it's true. You're right. You're right. It's the little things, like we take all this shit for granted. It could all just be snatched away at any moment. You are a blessing.
moment. And watch,
But you just
watch,
have to tell your heart to
but,
beat.
but
To
what
bless.
it really happened for me when watching my wife fight every day.
You.
You know what I mean? Like when somebody complains to me, the things when somebody complains to me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, look, every day she's amazed. She's glad to be alive, and I'm glad. I'm thankful that she's here too. You know what I mean? Like you don't even understand that till you see someone battling something every single day just to be here. Is that okay? So
Yeah. That's your son.
I did. He got it honest. Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, yes, thank you so much for this. This was so awesome. Thank you for talking with me about how important it is to know yourself and the people that are around you. Oh, just one more question. Like, so do you think that your personality attracts the people that you bring around, or the people that you're around makes up your personality? Like, makes up who you are?
I am who God made me to be. I've always been this way. I've always loved people. I find people fascinating. Um, I love analyzing people. I sit around the room and simply analyze everyone and everything. And but I think life shaped me into being the individual that I am. When you know in life that you have no safety net, you become a different kind of person. Different, as they say, a different kind of animal. So, like coming from a place of I don't like using the word poverty, but my family was very poor,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned ways to make things happen. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
you know. And so we, I'm always challenging myself to be better, not just on a superficial level, but on a spiritual level, on a mental. I want to understand everyone, but I want everyone to understand that the greatness in them is always present. You know what I mean? Like, why are you dwelling on something that makes no sense? Think about what you have that others don't, right? That
Right.
makes us all unique. You're not like me. I'm not like, DJ is like me though. But everybody, everyone has their own thing that makes them so super unique. Magnify that and stop worrying about some other shit over here that you ain't got no control over and nothing. You know what I mean? And stay in this moment because this is all you got. I mean, you and I get off the phone, you know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen next. Not to me or you or anything else, but you just don't know what's going to happen in life. So, like, man, stay in this moment and appreciate this moment. You know,
Yes.
who is
Yes.
Miss Terry?
I'm not sure, but hey.
Cousins.
Okay. Yes. So,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna let you name my piece, and then we're
it
gonna head on out.
is, but you keep saying because. But no, seriously, like, I just think that we need to really appreciate life, the ones we really love and the ones that love us, man, and always make them know how important they are in our life, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I know who it is. You know what I mean? So, like, at the end of the day, we have a challenge to ourselves to just keep growing and keep being the best that we can be. That's it. That's it. Yeah, look on the right hand side of the refrigerator.
So, did you hear me? Are you gonna name my piece?
Yeah, I'll name it when you bring it to me.
What? You want it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I know it's you, Tanya. I figured it out after a while. Love you too, good. Yeah, so yeah, when you bring it to me, then I'll put it on the wall.
okay. All right. Okay, well, thank you so much again for doing this. Is there any last words you would like to give us?
Keep living your best life and keep evolving to be your best you. That's it.
Yes,
That's
be
it.
the best. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
All
Goodbye.
right. Good night, everybody.
Right now,
Peace, love, and pain.
I'm gonna go to
Bye.
bed. Yeah. Good night. You want to